go, and the course never leaves them. And you can design activities that rely on the student going out and doing things. So you could have the student going out, interviewing people on the street, because you know that they have a phone, they can do video, they can upload that to the course. So there's a lot of different opportunities that you get once you know that things work on the mobile and the student has a mobile. And just this past semester, over 25% of students on Open Learning are using the mobiles for the course. And we've seen that peak at like 50% at certain times of day as well. So students are, more and more they're using their mobile for learning. And the course, in some ways can be designed with that in mind. Having the student going out and doing things, or also even minimizing the amount of videos so that, they don't use too much bandwidth. So there's lots of different things to consider. Okay, so I guess then I wanted to show you, so that's really the main things. Then I also wanted to show you some new things that we're working on. So at Open Learning, we're always building new features and technology. And we roll those out at different times. We release them at different times. So I wanted to give you some idea of some of the things that are coming up and some of the new things that will be possible within the next couple months or a few months. So one is sort of a new design that we have and some new features we're rolling out. So this is a sort of a new design that we have, and this design is a bit different. So this is a course that we're actually working on with the Australian federal government, and this course launches in 2 weeks. So it's a course actually for public servants. So we tried to make this course as fun as possible for government. So it's a very big challenge. In government, people aren't allowed to express opinions publicly. So if you can't express opinions, how can you have like a really strong community and actually share your ideas? It's very hard. So it was a monumental effort for our instructional design team. And there's about, I think, 300 pages in the course. So it's quite a comprehensive course. But there's a few things I wanted to point out. One is that it would be much better if I could just, don't need to, oh, let me have it here. I think I'm offline, but I think I can still show it to you.
Are you using the Cornwallis username?
I think so. There we go. I've got this one. I learned this before. So one of the things you can do now is have multiple pathways or topics or schedules in the course. So what that means is on the side, we call these sort of sets of modules. So inside there, you can have sort of multiple modules for the student. And inside each of those, there's no separation between content and activities. Every page on Open Learning can have content, activity. So there's a lot of very easy ways to blend content and activities together. And this is something that we've noticed in that a lot of times you don't really want to separate the two. Like a lot of times you might read something and then you'll do something. Or you might read something, do something else, want to see something. So we've designed a new way of building pages so you can actually merge everything together. So what that lets you do is then have much nicer looking displays for modules, and you can have much bigger pictures and things like that. And it's also all the colors are customizable. So this is like entirely themed to the blue of the government, but you can also do any sort of color you want. So there's interesting. Yeah?
So this is now your new template? I mean, you can do all of this now?
Yeah. So far we're enabling it on specific courses. So if you are setting up a course and you want to try it out, just let me know, and we can just flick a switch for you. We haven't made it the default system yet.
So for example, if we want to change our feedback for English, we can also do that now?
There'll be a few things to do, but our team can help, yeah. Yeah, so a lot of this has come from feedback that you want to really mix everything together and have a much more sort of social feel of how you navigate. And it's also much faster as well. because we've designed it so that you don't actually reload the page when you navigate to new things. It just reloads the part of the page that changes. So that'll actually reduce bandwidth usage as well.
Actually, because of this, that's why for English for feedback, we have put it everything under activity because we wanted it to be together.
Yeah.
So now with this, we can actually.
Yeah. Yeah. With this, you can just put it wherever you want. Yeah. It's pretty cool. So then, in terms of the sort of the pages themselves, this is an example of actually mixing. So you can have mixed content, activity, and a gallery for peer feedback, all on the same page. So you wouldn't have to go to 3 different pages to make this possible. And the student, when they see their picture, they know that's their turn to do something. So it's and they just type right in there, and then once they've done the activity, if you set it up this way, then they can see everyone else's responses too. So.
Has any of the courses already? I mean, because I think I'm doing Zaid Al-Sagov's course,
Yeah.
Super Memory one. I think he's using that. I mean, this new.
He might be using some of the pages, yeah,
right.
but not the
So
new
I'm
structure.
wondering, how
Yeah.
come we can do this, but we can?
Okay, so you can actually use this new style of page in any course at the moment, but certain things aren't enabled until we actually turn on the full design for you. So you get like a subset of it. So yeah, so you can use a subset of it currently, but you wouldn't be able to do like this one currently until we flick a switch for you, until we turn it on. Yeah, and then just let us know and we'll turn it on. So we like releasing things progressively to get more feedback on them before we deploy them widely. So yeah, so then you can have like a gallery on the same page, and in the gallery, it's a more organized way of showcasing students' work and getting feedback as well. So students can just pop things up, and they can comment on it and like it, and all of that. On top of that, we have more ways of viewing progress and analytics for students. So we have sort of more, I think they're prettier progress pages. So students can see which pages they've done, how much of it they've done, so they've done a third of it or whatnot. And we can actually track, so previously we tracked based on the activity page itself. So it would just be, if you've completed the activity, you've done all of it. But now we actually can track on a per sort of block basis on the page. So if you have multiple activities on a page, we track each one individually.
Like 1 unit, but you have actually completed the unit.
Yeah. So like this one, for example, I've completed 1/3 of it. Yeah. So we know, and we even know what part of the page they're looking at and for how long. So we can tell if there's a video on a page, if they spent the whole time looking at the comments, or if they spent the whole time, how much time they spent looking at the video. So we know all of that. So the way that this comes together is with a slightly new editing environment where you have different blocks on the page, and you just drag in the things you want on the page. So we've actually made it even easier to add activities and to design things. So you just, let's say if you want a checklist, you can drag that in. If you want students to share an image, you can drag that in. And we're building up a very large library of these sort of activities and widgets. And actually, we're making a lot of them open source. So we're actually going to start fostering a community of people who can develop these activities. So if there are sort of web development or IT students, they can actually build these widgets themselves as well. So that could be part of a competition as well, I guess. So there's a lot of different things. And we're actually, in Australia, we're working on a few different ways of encouraging that community and offering prizes. So I think I wanted to show you one of these. But I don't think I'm online. But yeah, I can show you this in more detail. I can walk you through it later if you want. Some of the new things we're working on. I guess the main thing is that we're working on ways to make it even easier for the teacher to create activities that encourage higher order thinking skills. Like that's really a lot of that's the goal. And then also make it really easy for the students to interact with each other in the way that they're used to. So that's where a lot of our effort is going. And also with the new structure, it enables us to do a lot more with different analytics and produce more learning analytics. So that's probably the main stuff. So I guess I'll just finish off with, so I think everyone's aware of the Malaysia MOOC program, but I guess what we are happy to support is having a portal for the polytechnics, where they have all of the MOOCs listed, all of the polytechnics listed, and each polytechnic can have their own page as well, showcasing the courses, the MOOCs they're working on. So that's something that we can work together on, and we're more than happy to support it. You can call it whatever you want. It could be Malaysian MOOCs or another name. I don't know if I put it in here, but we joke that, when